You are welcome to the reaction with me. Minka Jacob, and top of our stories today, we are discussing government to construct 3.6 kilometer from River Bridge to boost connectivity, says the Honorable Minister for Roads. And then plus we will talk about Education Minister commissions committee to scrap teaching licensure exams. And to some more stories, we will also discuss Bono Minister orders NEDCO to tackle intermittent power outages. This and many more is what we have for you in the next few minutes. So stick and stay with us. Previously, we used to say that governments of the day will always take, at least in their first year in government, they normally don't do a lot of stuff. But Charlie, the John Mahama government is truly showing that they are in for the resetting agenda. And I've always told you that my platform is in to push that nation, that national agenda, that nationalistic agenda. Anything positive, anything that sets out to build our nation, I am in for it. Clearly, you should appreciate what the government is doing on a day as compared to the previous government. We would say that at least if they were crawling, then this John Mahama government is running at a very higher pace, which was very not. I didn't anticipate this. Come on, as of now, I would just say that truly they are on course to reset the country. If you are in an opposition, don't worry about it. All you can do is what, try and join the winning team, try and join the winning team. In today's stories, let's delve into it. Quite interested. Let's delve into it. The first story I'm picking it from Ghana Web, right? I just want to read what they have for us. It says that government to construct 3.6 million Afram River Bridge to boost connectivity. Clearly, we needed this. One of our biggest problems as a country has been our road network, right? It has affected us in so many ways. It has tilted or it has caused us to be stunted in terms of growing or the growth of every business in this country. So let's read. The Minister for Roads and Highways, Kwame Gavin Agbodza, has announced plans for the construction of a 3.6 kilometer bridge over the Afram River, connecting Iche Amanfrom to Adoso in the eastern region. So I quote the minister, which says that 2 attempts have been made so far to get a bridge done, but they did not materialize. The president has instructed that under the big push, this bridge must be completed to connect the south and north. The potentials here are great, Abuja stated. Now, I like the fact that he indicated, President has instructed, look, everything is about leadership. As we keep on saying, leadership, 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 right? He stated earlier that 2 attempts have been made by the immediate past government to solve that problem. Clearly, it's a need, right? It has been one that has been pushing us backwards. So 2 attempts failing, come on the third time, as a government, you should be able to get it right. I always believe that, just as we say, government is continuity, right? So showing that animosity around every issue doesn't help us. So you wouldn't see, oh, 2 times government has tried, 2 times government has failed. Therefore, we won't try that. It is cost. Yes, everything is cost effective. Very important, right? But we have to begin to identify our priorities as a government or as a country. If you tell every citizen of this country that you want to embark on this resetting agenda, right? That means that every facet of our economy should begin to thrive, or something should spark it up. He further says that we should deploy the best possible design that is efficient and cheaper, and the consultant responsible will ensure that the quality of work done will out will leave us and deliver value. That's what we are looking for. That's all. We need somebody to break or even equalize the record of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Looking at what he did with the Tema motorway, or the motorway he constructed. Up to date, the motorway is still working, even though it has outlived its purpose. You agree with me? Ever since that road was constructed, it has done a lot of work. It has served us. It has overserved, in fact. But what happens was current administrations, subsequent ones, previous ones, what have they done? They construct routes, and within 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 months, the routes are being washed down by rains, just common rain. So Governor Agbodza expressed confidence that the bridge will be completed within President Mohammed's current term in office. So let's read from him, and I quote, "We can do this. If by next year we secure additional support, it will help. But even without it, we are determined to start. Even with all the funding in place, it will typically take 2 to 3 years to complete. Clearly, anything quality needs time. We don't like fast food anymore. We are tired of it, where political parties or government and power will sit aloof, look at the routes as bad as they are. Look, very recently, I used the Apollonia City Road connecting to a place called Kubekum number 2, where you find routes to Atadeka to Ashaiman. Man, the road is bad. Hey, look, if you are looking at top 3 roads that are very bad in this country, it qualifies. Meanwhile, there is a city there, a newly built city over there, and I have stated that that road is the reason why the whole Apollonia city won't grow. If you like, they should build houses with gold, but gold or minerals. That road will take the shine out of it. That because of that road, nobody would want to go and live there. The road is look, you are sitting in a vehicle, and you are literally one leg up and one ass up. Nana, look, sitting in front with the driver, driver turns around, and as bad as the road was, I couldn't sit. I nearly slept on the driver. That's how bad the road was. Look, you can try it from Dodua, right? It connects to Dodua. It's that bad, please. We have to start looking at those things. If we want to build a better community for ourselves, then we have to start thinking wise that our road network should be quality. It should be good for purpose. It should serve us well, not just for the next 3 months during the election period. Our life shouldn't be based on election periods, people. We have all it takes to build this country well. We have all it takes. All that we need is that 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 vision, that purposefulness to do something right. Look, we've gotten to a point where everybody hates right. If you are seen doing the right thing, hey, you know too much, you do too much. I take it or leave it, that is not who we are. As a people, that is not who we are. The true Ghanaian is somebody who is purposeful, somebody who is resilient, somebody who wants good for its own people and surroundings and everybody. But what happens? Gradually, we've accommodated certain cultures, the wrong ones, into our setting, and it has affected us. Right? We have to begin to think about it clearly. We have to begin to think about it. That if we truly want to change as a people, we should embrace this resetting agenda, whether you are MPP, whether you are in this. So this whole Tom and Jerry around who is doing the right thing, and then you see the MPP gathering some Nkukubu party, excuse my word. That what are they doing? They are going for demonstration. What, there is a deliberate attempt on the CG. Really? And I think they are communication officer. Look, that man, Charlie, you've lost it. You've lost it. You've lost it. Honestly, you should begin to reset your mind. Your mind needs to be reset. Okay, let's move on to our next story. Clearly, this one is one that we have to applaud the government for, that they want to truly fix our road for us, and they are doing this quite. I would want to go and check out the actual work to be done at the Afram Plains or the Afram River Bridge. One, if you know it, you can just tell us how the Afram River Bridge will look like if you've used that road before, and how it is affecting road or affecting migration and movement around. Okay, so let's move into our next story. We are talking about education. Sector Minister known as Honorable Haruna Idrisu has stated that Education Ministry must, in fact, he has launched a committee or a commission to look into the whole licensure exams. For the uninitiated, please let me take you through. After you've gone through the whole training process, right? You've written your final exam. There is another exams again, which gives you your license to teach. So you can write your final exams. If you don't undertake the licensure exams, you are not going to have anything, or you are not going to have the license to teach. It's just like if you enrolled yourself in a driving school, right? After you've done your final driving test, you have to go and embark on another journey of a test again before we give you your license, or before you are allowed to go to the DVLA to access your license. This is a policy implemented by the former Minister for Education, Honorable, he's known as Napo. In fact, I call him the doctor of teeth, and I wonder how he became the Minister for Education, right? Let's look into it. So he says that Education Minister commissions committee to scrap teacher licensure exams. And it is not the only thing I think government should be working on, right? That's not the only thing. There are quite a lot of things government should begin to look at. But before we even get into a lot of things in the education sector, government should begin to look at. Let's find out what the minister has set out to do. So that the Minister of Education, please, I'm reading from Peace FM online, so you can join me. You can just check them out. The Minister for Education, how do I do so? Commissioned the newly inaugurated National Teaching Council Committee to develop a new framework for assessing teacher qualifications, one that places greater emphasis on academic training and practical fieldwork rather than standardized licensure exams. Further says that the directive aligns with President John Mohammed's 2024 campaign pledge to abolish the teacher licensure exams if elected. So let's look into it. We are quoting him. The minister says that yes, it is true the NDC campaigned on the manifesto promise. We will end licensure exams. We did, and we will keep faith with the electorate. But I need professional advice on the matter. That is why I am putting this committee together to advise most appropriately how to work through the transition from a licensure exam regime to a non-licensure exam regime, Mr. Idrisu stated. Way nearby, Papa. This is somebody who is thinking right. He wanted to know what was the reason, right? The reason for which the immediate past government decided to implement the licensure exams. If it is true, or if it is positive, if it is something we can improve upon, he come back to tell us that after setting a professional committee to look into the matter, X and Y and Z happened, and clearly I think it is appropriate or it is inappropriate, so we are cancelling it. If you do this, any reasonable person will understand. So if the committee comes out and gives a report saying that the licensure exams is one that is going to help the country, however, it needs improvement or it needs to be done this way, any reasonable person should understand. But he's not doing it in an isolation that I'll wake up and say, I've cancelled it because it is in our manifesto. Just like in 2017, when His Excellency, the former president, Akufo-Addo, just stood up and said, because it is my manifesto, to implement the free education policy, he did not mind finding a committee to to draft a proper policy around it and how the whole policy should be implemented. He didn't do that. He just stood up one time, one academic semester. Let's go. We are implementing a policy, such a huge policy. You didn't mind. Ah well. So let's move. It further says that Mr. Jusu suggested that the NTC should also consider granting one final opportunity for candidates who previously failed the exams to resit before the exams are officially phased out. So, in his quote, I'm quoting him, with further advice, I want to say that one last opportunity of a resit of the licensure exams for those who couldn't make it the last time must also be part of your recommendations. What do we do? Do we offer them an opportunity of a reset? He queried. Oh, Bisa, he's just asking. Those people who have decided that the licenses are betrayed to I'm also a betrayed and I'm one. Ah, well, you are lucky you have a reasonable minister, not a Nebuchadnezzar minister. Since that he's thinking of it, it's possible you are going to have a reset. And once you get it correct, you are taken through. But I'm asking again, what if this person goes and fails again, and then the whole licensure exam process is phased out? Will this person be required to go back to level 100 to level 400 again? I mean, starting from the scratch to the top again. Honorable Minister, these conversations should begin to pop up, or you are just going to neglect the failure and hand over a license to him or her to go and teach. What if true and truly this person does not have the requisite knowledge, or it is he or she is not well cooked to get into a classroom and imbibe knowledge into your young ones? I understand you are working on a very um, very should I say this place is very dangerous. If you try and take them out, there's a problem. If you bring them in whilst you know they are not qualified, there's a big problem. That's a bigger problem. So you either choose a big problem or a bigger problem. Big problem will go and sit and learn again and come back, or try and pass you through, go and sit in the classroom and perform woefully. I have always wondered qualified teachers in the government schools, especially in the primary JHS department, right? BC as compared to the private schools who most of the time, quote unquote, employ unqualified teachers. Yet when you compare their performances, the private schools are always ahead. Can we begin to reset our minds again? If you're a teacher, please value your job. Should this always be supervision here and there? Why? Can't you supervise yourself to do the right thing for once? Can't you? Hey, yeah, some more. So, or he reiterated and said that, quoting the Honorable Minister, he says, in our manifesto again, it was our pledge to incorporate it into the curriculum of teacher training institutions, that it becomes part of their curriculum. So we are hoping that things will work out. The positive ones will always, the advantageous ones will always stand higher than the disadvantages. For me, if you don't pass it, you are not taken through. But how on earth do you pass your final exam and fail your licensure exam? How did you do that? How? You pass one breath of your final exam, licensure exam you fail. And then the licensure exams is not taken from what you've learned in the classrooms. No, we have to begin to get to that level. Like, look, be in all honesty, these days don't make sense. You don't pass your final exams and fail your license exam. How then do you go to the driving school and pass your final driving test? You get to the DVLA, they say move a vehicle for the first time and you can't move the vehicle. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Look, I mean, here. You come has yeah, again some home. Look, our next story, we are talking about power outages. Charlie, this one, they have a lot to say about it. ECG, and the power suppliers. I'm begging you, what do you go on? Let's look into it. The Bono Regional Minister orders NETCO to tackle intermittent power outages. This one, they pulled. You see why I like the NDC? Even when in government, he's ordering them. But back in the days, you would find your energy minister telling you that, hey, we are solving something. The next thing he tells you that go to the ACD and go and draw your own timetable. Hey, I tell you something, Chrome, now poor you be. Oh, seriously, now poor you be. Let's read. Mimi can't be. Let's read. The Bono Regional Minister Joseph Adai Akwabwa on Monday ordered the Sunyani area of the Northern Electricity Distribution Company to urgently tackle the intermittent power outages being experienced in parts of the region. Describing the situation as unfortunate, the regional minister expressed worry that are expressed worry. So in quote, I'm trying to get him to say this. Okay, so he says our opponents are politicizing the power failures. Clearly, NPP. Any small loophole chance on it. You have to give them any chance. I want to say, yeah, I won't go there. Yeah, that one is. So speaking, further says that in my discussions with them, I got to understand that the company has some technical challenges. So it's not about doing so. And I have asked them to tackle those challenges and restore full power supply. We are hoping it is not about doing so. We are only hoping, right? Now, before that, let's get to, so in that same story, let's see the areas, right? So there's a story on Graphic Online. See the areas that will be affected by ECG's planned maintenance on Tuesday, April 29th. That's today. So areas that may be affected. So if you are in that area, please take note. It's not doom so. It's maintenance ongoing. The Electricity Company of Ghana has announced that it will carry out planned maintenance works in parts of Greater Accra and Western regions on Tuesday, April 29, 2025, as part of ongoing efforts to enhance electricity service delivery across the country. So let me get this right. So we are getting the areas. In the Western region, maintenance work will occur between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m., affecting communities such as Agona, Dupol, or Dupal, Aprendo, Huindo, Kwasimintim, Asakai, Mpatado, Adientem, and nearby areas. So if you live around those areas, please take note. Offer it is not intentional. Between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m., the Ghana Grid Company, which is Gridco, will also undertake emergency maintenance works to improve service delivery, which will affect power in the following areas: Biposto in Ketiaso, Asempanye, Awaso, Nshonsu, Sefi Bekwai, New Obuase, Modase, Jeju, Treso, Njibra, Donokrum, Ashem, Ajaka, Manto, Kofidan, Baako Kurum, Ntrɛntrɛn so, Bapwase, Apia Kurum, Ahia, Fit, Abua Nidua, Bedi, Aboduam, Bosomioso, Ewiase, and surroundings, Charlie. These communities, Charlie. So if you are living in these areas, please take note. It's not intentional, right? Let's move on to our next story. I know you were not expecting this, but I had to bring it in. OSP again, back in the news. Is it his normal usual rant, right? Releasing search warrants and all that. Is it this same chase which will end up nowhere? I know. In the last few months, in the last few weeks, he has been chasing a lot. He has chased our former finance minister. He has chased quite a few people, yet no result. People are saying he's a no result man. He sees the problem, he can't solve it. Let's see. OSP charges Charles Bishop with corruption. He charges him with Corruption. Charles Bisu, the Office of the Special Prosecutor has filed criminal charges against a former presidential staffer, Charles Bisu, accusing him of engaging in corruption. Saying that Bisu, who was also the secretary to the disbanded Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, has been charged with various counts of corruption by a public officer and using public office for profit. And the one, I'm really reading, I won't talk about it. So OSP is working again. So reading this story from Graphic Online as well. So this is where we bring an end to our discussions for today with me, Minkajikop, on the reactions. Please just do well to click on the subscription button. We need it. Subscribe to our channel, share the page, click on the like button and the notification button. It won't cost you anything. Thanks for joining me. Bye bye.